Hey guys, this is Nefarious411 with episode 31 of my Monster Feed the Beast server play series. Whenever we left off on the last episode, there's been a few days in between, and I have done quite a bit of work. I created more of these Lamp of Growths from Thaumcraft, and as you can see, my farm looks a little bare, and that's not because of it not working out. It actually did the opposite, where it worked out too well, and I ended up with quite a bit of all of these different essence plants from magical crops. And the way I was able to get all of these essence crops is using a sprinkler. And the sprinkler was able to basically grow grass. So I basically put one of these open blocks tanks underneath the sprinkler, because the sprinkler does eventually dry up any water source block that you have. And if we let this run a little bit, we should start seeing grass grow. And if you've ever played around on the monster pack, whenever you break grass, you can see that you're able to pick up magical crop seeds. And that's not just with all of the produce and fruits and stuff, but it's also these essence seeds that we have over here. So all I did, because of the fact that this is in range of the harvester, I just let this run for quite a long time, and it grew grass just as it normally would with the sprinkler. You can actually see, oh, there it goes. And the harvester will actually collect the grass, and there may be essence seeds in it. So I let that run for a long time, and if we run over here, and it's nighttime again, of course, we'll see that we have 133 essence seeds, and that produced 75,000 of these essence dust. That did allow me to create some of the additional, what are these? The infusion stones, and this is the extreme one, and that one's needed for things like cobalt. So if I look at the, why is that not showing the cobalt seeds? Oh, I'm on a subset. There we go. So the cobalt seeds uses the extreme essence, and you have to use the extreme infusion stone to grab these extreme essence. Ooh, diamond seeds. I might actually do that. I haven't actually gone through all of my different options to see what I can make with these, but I did play around with cobalt, and I created ardite as well, and I have 22 dust, and I think that's just from 1 or 2 plants, and that's after using quite a bit to create cobalt. And basically, to do that, all you do is the same as the glowstone essence. You put it around in a circle like that, and it gives you the cobalt ore. And what I can do is run over to my new area. You probably remember from the first few episodes, I had this area over here with all of the factorization stuff, but I decided, since I have the cobalt plants up there and it's producing this cobalt ore, I wanted to be able to process that in some sort of room, and I went ahead and cleared out a spot for all of the factorization. There's nothing new here. It's basically the same system as I had before, but I went ahead and expanded it. Let me turn that sound a little bit. I expanded it quite a bit so that it can handle additional types. And I think it's completed through everything that I put in here. So now, basically, here's the entry point. I go ahead and throw that into the barrel, and the diamond cutting head will chop it up. And I'm using Ender IO conduits. I can't exactly see back there. And the Ender IO conduits do all of the routing, and it actually uses the liquid crafter, not that one, but this one over here, to clean the cobalt gravel. And now it's going through the slag furnace, and as soon as it finishes the slag furnace, it creates the chunks, and then those are thrown into the crystallizer. Unfortunately, I don't know of any way to distribute the reduced cobalt chunks evenly around these spots, because it can do up to 5 at a time, but it keeps trying to fill up this one spot. If I just leave it here, it's probably not a big problem, but I sometimes come in here, babysit it a little bit, because I really don't know how, unless somebody watching the video can tell me how to actually distribute. I'm just going to babysit it and manually distribute it across these 5 slots. And eventually, whenever that finishes, I also have a conduit that extracts it and puts it in the barrel, and just for that short amount of time, I guess it was like a couple of days, we have over 2 stacks of the cobalt, crystalline cobalt. And these we can just throw in any furnace and it'll turn it into the ingot form. And you probably noticed that I have a stack of 6 batteries here with a wire going up. If you recall from the first or second episode, whenever we did this, I used a calorimetric burner to generate, but I didn't want to have to feed food in it all the time just to create power. Another option that we have with factorization is these little mirrors. And these reflect sunlight at water boilers. So I created quite a few of these. So let me actually run upstairs real quick, and you can see how many of these mirrors I actually created. And I believe that this is the maximum distance that you can be from a water boiler. And this is the same setup. The only difference is that we don't have the calorimetric burner next to it. So basically all of these mirrors are reflecting the sunlight and pointing it at the water boiler and making the steam turbine spin that produces electricity. It comes down here, charges my batteries, and I found that even with everything fully loaded with all of this slag furnace and all of the crystallizers, that about 6 battery blocks are probably good enough to last throughout the night. And if I see any kind of drainage, all I have to do is sleep through the night or make sure that storms go away. But this is a set it and forget it kind of system, so I don't have to worry about it too much. This isn't an amazing amount of power being generated, and we can actually check that. So let me run into my AE system and grab the power meter, or charge meter. And this is with factorization. You can craft one of these and basically just hit any block, and you can see that we're not producing that much steam. If we were putting this into a steam boiler or something like that and pumping the steam directly, it'll be a lot faster. But the steam turbine right now is about 104, 105, and the sun's going down, so this will eventually slow down because the mirrors will no longer reflect the light. But that's quite a bit of power. The batteries fill up really fast as soon as the morning hits. But if I were to pop one of these off and place it too far away, you can see that it just points straight up in the air. It will actually auto-detect that a water boiler's in range and automatically turn to face it. Really cool. And it looks really nice from up here. And I believe that you can, I don't know this for sure, I haven't tested it, but I've seen pictures on the internet where people have actually stacked water boilers and then just had layer upon layer of mirrors pointing at a tower of these water boilers. And I don't really need that kind of power. What I have is sufficient, but if we ever want to run more on factorization, that is definitely an option that we can look at. Alright, so that is the factorization updates, and you'll probably also notice that I created a couple of these item storage monitors. And this will allow us to basically see at a glance whenever we're up here in the farm area or Thaumcraft room. We can get a quick glance of inventory that we have. And if I run over here, you can actually see my barley farm is going pretty well. I did add a couple of these lamp of growths over here just to make sure that these are growing a little bit faster to make sure that we keep up with the amount of lamp of growths that we have. I probably created too many. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lamps of growth, and I think I still have a couple of my couple of the lamps that I constructed in the AE system, but this farm wasn't keeping up at all. So I went ahead and added a sprinkler down here as well as lamp of growth. See if I can get the seed production to go a little bit faster. But it did work out, and I guess I don't need this anymore. That was just for demonstration of how I did created all of these essence seeds. But I think we're in a really good shape with our farm because now we have the ability to craft basically any of the other seeds that we want. After going through my list of the things that I want to do in this series, I realized that I haven't even done the Wither battle yet. So I want to go ahead and use Tinker's Construct to create a sword so that I can go and kill some wither skeletons and collect some heads, because I also noticed whenever I went to wither, I can actually use the magical crops to create additional wither skeletons heads. So there, I won't have to use mob essence or anything like that to spawn additional withers and do that whole mob farming kind of thing. I can actually use magical crops for this, but in order to do that, I need to create these wither skeleton seeds, and that's going to require 4 wither skeleton heads to create one of these seeds. So what I want to do is go ahead and create a cleaver, because a cleaver, if we look in here, does the beheading. It has beheading 2 by default, and I probably want to do majority of the sword in manilion, or however you pronounce that, manulum or manulin. So let me go ahead and do that. Should be fairly simple. So let me grab some cobalt and ardite. There we go. I'm not exactly sure how much I'm going to need. So let me take a look at here, and that does not tell me. Oh yeah, this is one of the places where I wasn't able to use the dolly to pick up my pattern chest. So my pattern chest has been sitting here on the ceiling for quite a long time, and I need a large plate, and I think it was 2 tough tool rod binding. And I do not have the large, what is this? The large whatever cleaver thing. So let me find that real quick. That should be the broadsword. And that is the knife blade. There we go, large blade. Cool. So this is material cost of 8. Material cost of 3, and material cost of 8. And I think I need 2 tough tool rod bindings. Yeah. So let me go ahead and get all of the other parts ready, and we'll come back and we'll see if we can get to the nether before time runs out. Alright, so that did take a little bit of time because smelting up cobalt and ardite does take quite a long time. I went ahead and crafted all of these out of manilion, and then the paper plate is going to add an additional modifier. And this, by default, 5.5 hearts, not too bad. So let me call this the beheader. I don't know. Maybe there's a better name for it, but that'll work for me. And now, let's go ahead and put additional beheading on it. I believe this will work. And I guess the rest of it will be sharpness. So let me first turn down the sound, because this is going to be loud otherwise. I guess I turned it down too far, but I should be able just to add sharpness for the remaining modifiers, and later we can add the 2 additional modifiers, one with a block of gold and a diamond, and another one that requires an ender pearl. And so far we're up to 9.5 hearts of damage, and that should be it. 10.5 hearts of damage. That seems quite reasonable. You know what? Let's go ahead and grab our gold. And let's create the 1 additional modifier. And diamond. Cool. And why do I have diamond seeds back in here? I will have to check my farm out there just to make sure I didn't miss something. There we go. This gives us the 1 additional modifier, and let's go ahead and put that one quartz as well. 10.5 hearts, 11. Cool. And that ended on 11.5 hearts of damage. So let me go ahead and, well, I guess I do have a book over here. So let me do this on camera, and we'll probably have to wrap it up. I do not know which one's the nether. There we go. And this does give you mining fatigue 3, and that's because of it being such a heavy sword. Doesn't come free. There is a cost associated with something that can do the beheading for you. But let me see if I can find wither skeletons running around here. I can fly, so that makes it a little bit easier. I'm hoping that I can find at least one. Nope. Let me keep running around and see if I can find any. Well, unfortunately, that Nether Fortress that I originally found is rather on the small side, so I need to actually go and see if I can find another one. And I remember seeing one over here. Looks like somebody else has explored it. Could have been me. I'm not sure. But let me see if I have a little bit better luck in this fortress. Alright, that Nether Fortress wasn't very successful because somebody lit it up with torches, and I think that prevents any of the wither skeletons to appear. But after flying around for a little bit, and I need to keep my eye on my potentia levels, I did find another fortress, and I'm really hoping that we have a little bit better luck. This one doesn't look terribly large either. Just checking the chests just to see if there's anything good. There's a saddle, and I could still use that. I only have one saddle back in my base, so I might want to snag that before I leave. Nothing good. Wondering if this one's already been looted as well. Well, that's kind of weird. Yeah, that was a weird formation. Alright. Still no luck. And again, I'm gonna be running around, checking to see if I can find any wither skeletons anywhere. Alright, yet another... Ooh, diamond. Another Nether Fortress, and I'm hoping that we can find something at this one. I am not feeling the luck. I do hear some hellfish. I want to stay clear of those, because I do not have food with me. I forgot to bring food. I had food shortly before I came to the Nether, but I threw it back into my AE system, not thinking about it. Boy, that was a small one. Seriously? That was it? That was an extremely, extremely small Nether Fortress. I must be missing something. I mean, I hear things. They blaze. So, okay, so it is a little bit bigger than I was thinking. But I have yet to see any wither skeletons. Alright, well, I am probably going to need to go back to the base, get a little bit more potentium, and I will be back as soon as I find at least one wither skeleton. Come on, dude. Oh, finally found one. I don't know if there's any kind of wither skeletons down in this Nether Fortress, but I have gone an extremely long way to get here. If I can look at the map, the link book back to my base is way up here. These are the couple of Nether Fortresses that we found, but all of this way I did not find a single fortress until now. So yeah, that was a very long trek. I hope that I have enough potentia to make it back home, but I am hoping to have a little bit of luck at this Nether Fortress. This is the last one that I'm going to try, at least for tonight. It's getting rather late, so I am hoping to have a little bit of luck. So let's kind of see what's going on over here, because I do not plan on coming back this far ever again, because I still have to make that long hike back home. And as I mentioned, I do have flight, but I've already gone through half of my potentia just to get to this point. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be walking at least part of the way. And this is not looking promising either. Really, really unfortunate, and I am not happy about this. I do not know why I have not seen a single wither skeleton. Very, very frustrating. I wonder if the underground map works on this. No, it doesn't look like it. I might have to switch back to Ray's minimap or something that shows mobs, because I know that the map writer for Opus doesn't show any mobs, and there might be wither skeletons that spawn right after I pass, but I don't see them on my map. So I might need to get a map that actually helps me with that, because I did not have any luck in this Nether Fortress. I was hoping that because of the distance that we came, that the game would spare us a little bit. But no, it's going to troll me. Very, very frustrating. I think I hit all of the corridors. I'm just going to run back through here to see if any spawned while I was just running about. So there's a little bit more to it. Oh, there's an entire section over here that I didn't see. I might have to just camp. Just sit around and wait for something to spawn. It might be because I'm just flying around real quickly. I am not sure. But unfortunately, guys, I do think that I need to wrap up this episode. It's gone rather long. I might have to cut a few things out here and there, but I'm hoping that it was a decent video. At least we have the next couple of goals set. It's basically to get some wither skeleton skulls so that we can spawn the wither, because there are many recipes that use nether stars, and I actually want to start working on those. If you can rate the video down below, it would greatly help me out, and also if you like the series, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But for now, this is goodbye.